Hi there, thanks for stopping by to check out Origins Wheeljack with me. I'm GhostPrime, and this little guy is how Wheeljack sort of appeared in the very first episode of Transformers Generation 1. I think it was called More Than Meets the Eye Part 1. And he was shown on Cybertron in a Cybertronian mode where he was like a van thing. It was him and Bumblebee, and then they ran into some Seekers. And I never thought they'd make a toy of this. Overall, I think they did a pretty good job. He is a little stumpy looking, though, huh?
Hey, there's no need for name calling.
There's a reason for it, which I'll go into in the review. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's get to the review. And here he is in the box. He comes in a Legacy United style box. You see there's no plastic, which I think they're going to bring these back. So that's good. This whole piece here, if you're in the store, I mean, I don't know if I can pull it out. Oh yeah, I can totally pull it out. I could totally pull that piece out. So if you're in the store, make sure that's in there. Of course, the heads and all that stuff. You know, you can see it down in there. Nice box art. Legacy United. Face, full body. Legacy artwork on the side. Here's the back. 32 steps into this. See where you can fold this up in the back. And he could put the shield on the front. 40 years of Transformers. God, I'm old. So let's get this guy opened up out of the package and check him out. Of course, he comes with a set of instructions. Not that you really need it, except for maybe for the shield piece. Pretty much everything is self-explanatory, and I'm sure you could figure out the shield piece if you really wanted to. It's a lot of panels, but it's nice and clear. I like how they highlight in orange, actually. That's really nice. He also comes with his gun. Now, this is actually cast in, or I guess injection molded, in a clear plastic. So you get that clear was painted silver. You know how clear plastic can be brittle over years. These pieces here are also cast or molded in a clear plastic. Now, if you notice here, one of the holes is completely larger than the other.
Ew, gross.
And I'll get to that later, but that makes this one be problematic. You also get this piece, which is I went over in the box, that you can just slide right out. This piece doubles as a road, but what you have it do with it is pull it apart, which worries me because it's all done in this translucent plastic. We're going to go ahead and pull those apart, set that aside. Here is Wheeljack. Now, actually, I think he's bulky. Yeah, he's really bulky. But I think he looks pretty good overall. That back is insane. He looks good from the front.
Fat.
Yeah, but so let's see, where's it at? The gun here has a little nub on the end. You can put this on the end so he has a gun like that, and he can hold it in his hand. He has a port there, but he also has a port up here for his shoulder launcher. I think that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. You can put the little piece on the end too, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I think he looks really good. So let's get back up close on that face. So I don't know if you could see if I can move that light a little bit. It does not really working. The eyes are dark, but see they're blue, and I think they're made of that translucent plastic. I don't think that they're painted that color. They look good. They are rather dark, but it makes me wonder how much paint's on that head to make it look like that. His chest here is translucent, and he's got this is all paint on there. I think it's painted pretty nice. The detail on his legs and his arms. Moving down to his very bulky legs. Got some detail that shows up there. His feet, which are on ball pegs. And this horrendous backpack. I mean, I get it. I get why it's there. It needs to be there. Because he almost mass shifts. It's really kind of cool. Like it's really neat, even though he's a panel. That looks terrible. That looks terrible. But he looks good from the front. And I think that's sort of really all that's needed with this guy. Articulation-wise, move his arm out. He has bicep. He has elbow. He has wrist swivel. He has waist swivel. Up and down. I think it's a ball joint on the neck. Of course, it can do 360 as well. His legs go out, forward, back pretty far. Pretty decent knee at 90 degrees. Like I said, ball jointed ankles here, which you can get, you know, pretty decent range of motion. So yeah, overall, pretty good. So with this here piece, what you could do is take it and see if I can remember how to do this. Go ahead and put together this way. And this is the direction you'll use for the car as well. There is a way you could store it on the robot. Yeah, it's an afterthought, but there's a way you can store all this stuff. So you turn them around to the backpack, and these two could peg on. Well, this one can't peg on. This one can peg on. Oh. Right there, like that. We could pretend this one's in there. It will not, that hole being larger, it will not stay. So there's these tabs right here, and they correspond to right there. So what you're gonna wanna do is put the tabs on. Like that, and he has wings. So, yeah, I mean, it looks silly. You can just leave those off. But let's do some comparison real quick. Here he is with the Earthrise Wheeljack, and you can see it's much more cartoon colored, much lighter. I do like the detail here, and I would love to see some detail there. I can't remember if it's on the cartoon that way. I'd have to watch, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of detail on his legs, maybe to help a little bit. Maybe it would help slim it down if it had a little green there or something, kind of point downwards, just because he has bulky legs. Not to mention a bulky backpack. But there is nothing. Even the head is completely different sculpt altogether. There it is from the side. You can see how bulky it is. There he is with the Origins Jazz. So they're about the same height, you know, as they should be. They're the right scale, which is nice. All right, and we're gonna head into transformation. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the gun and set that aside. These simple transformation, mostly panels. We're gonna do is take his arms, move that up, move that. Go ahead and take his fist, turn his fist, push that in, and move the arm like that. Same thing on the other side. Like that. Go ahead and take the whole assembly here on the chest and pull that out. Turn his head around. Put that. Oh wait, first things first, before we put that down, we have to rotate the waist. Then we're gonna put that down. So his head sits in their cavity there. These two little pieces move in, like that, freeing that whole spot up. The arms could go like this, and it has this little kind of tabbing system there. Go ahead and leave that like that, or you could move it up. Needs to be all the way out of the way. We'll get to that later. Excuse the background noise. So make sure it's flat like that. That comes up. And here's the legs. So these are all panels. So we're just gonna undo the panels. We're gonna take this panel here, undo that, and then open that up. Open this panel up. Swing that around, take the foot, turn the foot around, push that in like that, open up that panel. You should actually automatically open that panel. Probably should have done that first. Take the leg and break the knee right there, just fictions in there. Move this like this. Take this and move that up. You don't need to connect all that just yet. All right, then the other side, same deal. Open this up. Okay, we'll open that like that. Open this, swing that around. Open this, turn the foot. Foot, slide right in. All that piece, open that piece. And then, as it's already done it, break the knee. So the knees are out of these little pieces here. And then, that panel comes around. There's tabs there. Just go ahead and connect those two tabs. This is basically like a game of tabbing now. Tab all that together, and it really won't stay till you get the roof. Tap all that together, tap all that together. See, make sure the front's okay. Then take this piece off. Untab it from there. There's a tab here that goes into there. And you'll see a tab here that actually slots, and so like slots there. That's kind of slots into. But you'll get it all cleaned up afterwards. So go ahead and make sure that's straight. Make sure all these angles work out and they kind of tab together. These will come undone. It's fine. Other side. Then in, under, tab together. Now, the bottom, take this piece here. I find it's easier to tab it all before doing this. There's two holes here that this piece here comes around and pegs into. I guess I forgot to undo those. Make sure those are flat. All right, make sure the legs are straight. Of course, I push these in. That's okay. Like that. Now what you want to do is push this down, and there's little tabs here and slots there. And they just tab and slot in together. Both sides. Like that. And you could have the little door back here. Actually, one more thing. This is kind of a pain. I wish you could do this without lifting the top up. You gotta move that like that and get those tabs under there and then do it all together. And then you have it completely transformed into his van mode. You got a nice paint comes up here, paint on the side, you got a green stripe. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. Big bumper on the front. I mean, I think it looks pretty great. The underside, not so much. And you are relying on clear plastic pieces to set it on, which is irritating. There's a few things you could do with this mode, though, which is really cool. One being is you could take these two little pieces and mimic the scene in the first episode. If yours fit, mine, sadly, does not. Not making me a liar. This one's super loose. So it's very hard to get on there. Of course, now it's making me a liar. But as I showed you earlier, the holes are too big. I don't even know how that got that to stick on there. Well, I guess that's cool. I could not get that on to save the life of me earlier when I was transforming it before this video. So cool. No telling that's going to stay there on all the time. This piece, now that we have it like this from the robot mode, fold this and fold that. And there's the tabs right there on the side. See the tabs and slots. So the slot right there. Let's put that on. Squeeze it together. And he has his force field. They had to justify the price somehow, didn't they? Actually, I think it's still really cool that they included this because this doesn't look half bad. You could also take the gun. Not show accurate, but go ahead and stick it on the top. And again, doesn't look half bad. So that's pretty cool. If you don't want this on all the time and you want to display it, what you can do is, it holds together, it holds on real tight. You can take it back apart and put it back like this. And this is a set of the instructions. Like that. And it's the road. I think the thing fell off. All right. Sure. It's a skinny road. Oh, fine. Sure, it's a display base. All right, it's just something you could do if you want to do it. I guess that's fine. But one of the coolest things is you can fit the rods, I guess, or Bumblebee in here. And all you got to do is open that up like that. And if you have your Bumblebee figure here, you take the wings, move them up and over, fold them. And then you could slide that right in there. So you can escape. Sadly, I don't think you get the rods in there with it, but that's okay. Oh, then you feel like that. Then tab it all together. Oops, that came undone on the side. I am having more trouble with this than I did earlier because it's on camera. There we go. Ah. I did not have this much trouble earlier. There we go. He is inside of Wheeljack, which is very cool. Very, very cool. I love that. I love that you could do that. I think that's just absolutely rad. Do a quick comparison. There he is with Jazz. So he's quite a bit bigger. I mean, he gets huge. See how big that is comparison-wise? It is just a huge difference. One thing that it does also suffer from, although not as bad as Jazz. So I look, Jazz looks really bad on camera. Not really in person, but it looks bad on camera. So does this. So this is a different color than the other whites. I can see the back door, stuff like that. It does show up in it, and I wonder if it's going to yellow. So overall, very cool. It's fun. I'm glad they did this. It's really, really neat. Let me get on to my final thoughts. So can we call this a Shellformer? Maybe. He kind of lays down. The shell appears around his back. I guess they couldn't really do this really any other way, considering he's supposed to look like a Lancia Stratos from the front and then actually turn into a van thing. I never thought we'd get this thing. It's cool. I'm keeping this as a vehicle on my shelf because I actually think they pulled it off really nice. It looks pretty good. The robot mode is stumpy looking, and that backpack's just egregious. It's just a massive hunk of plastic hanging off this thing. Overall, though, it's pretty cool. I dig it. I do. And it gets a recommend from me just based on that. I really hope we get a sound wave from it. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.